Are there specific types of sound therapies for someone with high levels of anxiety or in deep states of depression? Are there different types of therapies for each issue?
Well, anxiety and depression is slightly different. So anxiety really tends to be worry about the future, whereas depression tends to be that you're stuck in the past. So any form of meditation, especially sound meditation, brings you back into present moment awareness. And when you're in present moment awareness, you're actually heart-centered rather than head-centered. So, but as far as the type of sounds to use, it does depend individually, and that's why it's good to have a one-to-one session with a therapist. The gongs, for instance, can be a bit Marmite. Some people absolutely love them and sort of float off and, just in the cosmos and really love it. And yet for another person, the gong may be far too powerful, and it might bring it, because the gong starts to shift blockages and it starts to shift any suppressed emotions. So if you've had trauma or grief that you've suppressed and you've not really worked through, and this might be from years ago that you might not even be consciously aware that you're still carrying within your energy field, the gongs can really start to move that up and move that out to be healed and integrated and let go of. So I've had people that have in my group work that have had a very kind of strong effect with the gongs, because it's brought up stuff that they weren't really ready to deal with. But in a one-to-one setting, that would be more appropriate to use gongs for that kind of therapy, because you'd be talking to people, you'd find out where their trauma was, where their grief, or what their past experiences were, so you could gently bring that up and deal with those emotions as they come out. And
can you explain this? Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Angie. I'm really interested in that point. Can you explain that in a bit more detail? Because how does that work, where, like, if I suffered whatever issue as a child or whatnot, and then I do this therapy with you, and then it brings that emotion out from me, from something that happened 30 years ago, 40 years ago. How does that, can you explain that process? How does that make that happen?
Well, it comes back to everything being energy and frequency. So whatever we experience, good or bad, we carry with us in our energetic field. So if we've had trauma or grief in our life and we haven't properly gone through the process, and what I mean by going through the process is maybe you just didn't want to face something, so you just kept distracting yourself, rather than feeling the pain at the time or feeling the grief at the time. And that's fine, so some people kind of take longer to go through the process than others. But if you're the type that is completely ignoring that you've had that pain, completely ignoring that have that, and constantly distracting yourself from dealing with it, it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't magically disappear. It will stay in your energy field, and it will stay in your body as energetically, and it will probably eventually, if you don't deal with it, show up as physical illness, such as cancer or tumours or hives, allergies, and all kinds of things really. So I mean, with energetic medicine, with holistic medicine, and the belief is that, and this is starting to be proven by science as well, so we are really moving forward now with energy medicine, is that physical illness, or it starts in the energetic template. It starts as your emotions and your feelings and your thoughts, and if you don't process through your emotions in a healthy way, then it can become a physical illness. For instance, I suffer from ME, and that's through years of being under constant stress. I had six years of being in a stressful frontline job for the NHS, and I wasn't dealing with it. I was not dealing with it, and I should have left the job long before I did. In the end, I got so ill through the ME that I had to leave. I had no choice, because I completely had burnout, I couldn't sort of function anymore, and I had to leave the job. So and we do get these signs and these signals, and we're very good at ignoring them, you know. If we're honest with ourselves, we always know when we're in the wrong job or the wrong relationship or living in the wrong place. You know, we don't we've been taught not to listen to our intuition, not to listen to our natural inner compass. You know, we all have that inner compass that tells us when we're doing something that's right for us, or wrong for us. And we very much try to please other people. You know, as a society, we're programmed to please everybody else before ourselves first. We're told that that's selfish. The problem is that if you keep doing the job that you hate, or being in a relationship that brings you down, or, you know, living somewhere that just doesn't, you know, make you happy, then sooner or later these things are going to come out physically.